It's now time for the Raff Report. Top assistant Jeff Rafferty joining us here post-game, and I'm sure this is a post-game interview that he is so excited to talk about, especially after an amazing 76-70 overtime victory for NJIT against North Alabama. Mike Ventola, Jeff Rafferty here, and Raff, it's like anything else. In order to get overtime, obviously you got to get there in that sense. So it came down to a very special play, a moment where you had to hit a three-point shot to tie it. Donovan Greer was able to do that. Before, though, you guys got a chance to go back on the court and figure out what type of play you were going to run. What was going on there on the sideline before you guys got a chance to get out there?
Well, we put ourselves, we were dead in the water, man. You always believe on the bench, and you always give your kids reason to believe and put them in the best positions that we possibly can as coaches. But we had some heads hanging at the 3:46 mark, I think it was. We were down 6 or 7, 8 maybe. I think 6 as late as like 2 minutes. But we just kept fighting through it, and we came up with a couple big rebounds, defensive stops and rebounds, and put ourselves in a position to where Donovan, can make that shot. We see that, we see that every day, and we got a bunch of, we preach to the guys every day. They got to stay ready, and you never know when an opportunity is going to come. And there's a kid that's a senior. He's a 3-year player for us, and he got an opportunity tonight, and he made the big shot to send it to overtime. Then in overtime, I thought we got a little bit of rhythm and played with great energy.
And, so it was Donovan Greer that helped you guys in the closing moments, and then a guy that's been a big part of your entire season is Zach Cooks, who was really huge in regards to overtime. He and, of course, Abdul Lewis, really that 1-2 punch all season long. And knowing that you guys were able to get a comfortable lead and obviously hold on there at the end, like you said, building some momentum. But for what Zach and Ab have been able to do all season, has this been as good as a 1-2 punch that you've had a chance to see here throughout this season? I mean, it's been that enjoyable for you guys?
I mean, certainly. This is as good of a 1-2 punch, in the country at our level, I believe. And Abdul, when he gets going, he can obviously score the ball, and he's a rebounding machine. But what goes maybe unnoticed in the general public's eye is his ability to pass the ball. And he had 5 or 6 assists tonight, and he does it all the time. So that's a facet of his game that really makes our offense run. And then, Zach's just a winner, man. He's a timely kid. We bust his chops that he's had some games this year that he doesn't assist the ball. There's not many 5'9" guys out there that don't have any assists. But he makes big shots and makes winning plays at the defensive end. And, he had a couple of those backdoor cuts to score late, but there's so many possessions over the course of the game where he back cuts and it draws the whole defense, and then someone gets a wide open 3. So I thought this was a total team effort. San Antonio Brinson gave us 9 and 4 despite foul trouble. Shaquan Gibbs had 6 assists and no turnovers tonight. He didn't really score the ball, but he was great defensively, and he was great. He was great assisting the ball. And again, like DeAndre doesn't have the best shooting night. He was 1 for 6, I think, but he was 10 for 11 from the line, and those free throws were huge, and put a lot of pressure on them late in the game when we were kind of climbing back into it. And then you have a guy like Kel and Donovan, and everybody really stepped in. Mohammed even, he got us some big rebounds in the 8 or 10 minutes he played.
No, and I know you guys had to go through a lot of different adjustments throughout the game because of what North Alabama brought to the table. Christian Agnew, Jamari Blackman, Kendarius Smith, those 3 really at times gave you guys some headaches. And I know they got some nice point totals, but, especially
I'm going to tell you this, that team's going to be a team to reckon with.
I was about to ask you that. I mean,
they're really good. And I've known Tony Poole, the head coach, for quite a while. He was an assistant at VCU when I was at Delaware. I've always had a ton of respect for him as a basketball coach, but more importantly as a person. And, he went out and turned that whole roster over after he got the job in April. And you're hoping he was going to take him a couple years to get his players in there and get the type of play the style that he wants to play. But they've arrived, man. That's a hard out. They defend really hard. They play fast. The ball screens are brutal and to guard, and they, very well coached team in a very competitive environment tonight, and it was great to get the W.
No, and and also too, I mean, like you talked about, your team was able to distribute the basketball. You were aggressive in regards to rebounds, but especially with their ability to and they had the lead obviously for a good portion in some moments. You guys had to switch to the 1-3-1 at times. You had to go zone at times. So but I guess it's a credit to your players that you guys gave them direction. They went out there and they got the job done.
Well, we haven't played a whole lot of zone. We play 90% man, 95% man, and we went to the 2-3 to kind of change the tempo of the game. And honestly, we went to 2-3 and 1-3-1 when we put Kellen because we couldn't guard their ball screens, and they put us at we were at a disadvantage so many possessions, this evening. That's a credit to how hard they play offense. So, we had to do some different things, and I think our kids adjusted pretty well, and we figured out a way to claw it out.
All right, Coach. Well, one final question. You now have sole possession of third place. You're looking up right now at Lipscomb and Liberty, but it's not like you can celebrate all too much. Obviously, enjoy it tonight, but you got to get right back at it. Florida Gulf Coast comes in on Wednesday.
Yep.
You've had some interesting battles with them over the past few seasons. What are you looking forward to and going to practice over the next couple of days to get prepared?
I'll be honest with you. They play kind of a similar style to North Alabama. They set a ton of ball screens. They play very fast in transition. So we're going to have to get rest tonight and come back and start game, preparing tomorrow. I don't know how much we'll do on the court, but we'll definitely do some film and things of that nature. And then we're going to practice well Tuesday. And they're a flagship school in this league. You know what I mean? And I know they've kind of had some obstacles this year with a coaching change and a huge roster turnover on their roster. But they're still a very dangerous team, and we're going to have to come ready to play and try to steal another one on Wednesday.
All right, Coach. Well, congratulations to you guys. What a game, what a win, and go enjoy this one, and then obviously, hopefully, the wins keep coming.
Thanks, Mike. Appreciate it.
All right, that's Jeff Rafferty.